leaving a highly aristocratic audience not quite knowing where they'd landed themselves.
The burning giraffe arrive, and this becoming the more explosive sequence of the Dalinian Museum in Figueras.
We moved on then from the Prado to a town called Figueras, a little town where Dali was born, and where he's now busy at work creating his own museum. 3 or 4 men who happened to be standing outside the Dali Museum, doing no harm to anybody, had been press-ganged into assisting at the last rite of this stuffed giraffe.
This is very beautiful. Fuck!
They clearly have no idea what is supposed to be happening, but like a lot of other people, they are willing participants in what looks like being the latest Dalinian happening. It's all very magical and mysterious, quiet, sacrificial. Men in the presence of something much bigger than they are, a burning giraffe.
Very religious, you know. Les candles. I ara pugem amunt.
Dali has told everybody that it was to be an explosive sequence, but it wasn't exactly the conflagration we've been led to expect. On the 3rd day, when we got back to the seaside at Port Legat, the fishermen were busy mending their nets, and Dali doing a bit of netting of his own.
This web structure is instantaneous plastic web, and also is very Dalinian, and tell me that with this is possible cover not only the swimming pool, but all village of Cadaqués and the people living inside of this web becoming exactly the same que pre-chrysalid insect people. You know, today you look the process of working, and tomorrow you look all chrysalid, the same que Dali is inside of one real worm come little insect walking around.
Another 3 or 4 unsuspecting but willing peseta chasers had been paid to fling a lot of plastic up and down Dali's backyard. They think they are creating an original work of art with 10,000 yards of plastic netting. In fact, Dali was trying to hide his garden from the hotel opposite. But he got bored with his plastic webbing, and his mind was all on his new museum in Figueras, whither we were whisked away yet again for a proper tour this time, without the distraction of barbecued giraffes. It's a majestic building, a theatre bombed in the Spanish Civil War, and left like a shell into which Dali is about to lay his golden eggs.
This location is the real museum. Here? In this place. These walls, there's plenty of sculptures and my paintings of my private collection and the collection of Gala. Right. And this is one garden.
A garden?
One garden, which is open. No, this is completely open.
Open to the sky?
Open. And this is closed by this kinetic structure that you look in the 5th floor.
And will there, around the wall, around the inside, there are rooms for different objects?
For different objects.
And
now, inside you look the more fantastic geodesic dome,
which
is this dome is made by Emilio Pinheiro. This man is the more young Spanish architect, but the real tragedy is that this man died last summer in one accident. Yes, in one accident of car. Now all my ambition is reconstruct my early adolescent period.
Here in Figueras?
In Figueras,
You went-
and Cadaqués, and Portugal.
But you went to school here?
Exactly, school. All my early remembrance and erotic events happen exactly in this place, and for this is the more legitimate place for my museum exists. Gracias. Je vais continuer.
Inside the museum, Dali's at work on the ceilings, painting a huge scene of characters from Spanish history, dominated by the feet of Dali and his wife Gala. The work is done in brief, sweating, back-breaking spurts, up the top of a huge wooden ladder, not so much like the one Michelangelo used in the Sistine Chapel, but more like the one Charlton Heston used in The Agony and the Ecstasy.
This is the second sequence of my work because for the moment it's already 3 consecutive years of work. And today start again and probably miraculously achieve one masterpiece in the 3 or 4 next hours of time. Butterfly. No, this is only one. One man carry one crutch for one flag, you know, this is one.
Right. You like crutches a lot?
Yes, because it's one symbol of impotency. Only, yes, only the great people realize sensational achievements is impotent, you know?
Right.
Napoleon, everybody. The people is not impotent, make childs, embryons, and no more. But immediately the sex work with extreme difficulty, you create fantastic music, architecture, or invasions, imperial ideas.
Right.
Bravo, 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 bravo. Bonjour, bonjour.